Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is the Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the news with this month's installment of In Defense of, and in honor of it being October. First off, of course, the movie in question is a horror movie, and also in light of the genre, this is will actually be a double feature. First off, we'll be looking at Jason X, the 10th movie in the Friday the 13th franchise, which many don't entirely look too well upon. And hey, yeah, it's a schlocky movie. I'm not even going to lie about it. This is not the greatest slasher movie ever made. This is basically poking fun at haunted house movies in space, or movies such as Event Horizon and Alien, and so on and so forth. It brazenly jumps the shark. It pretty much says, "Hey, look, see that shark there? We're gonna jump over it for the next hour and a half." The acting, it's not great. It's not terrible, but then again, a lot of the characters don't really get those opportunities to do much more than show up, do something stupid, and then die. So, yeah. Well, Kane Hodder, who played Jason in this was, I believe, his fourth foray into the role. He, of course, does an excellent job. One would think that it's easy to play that character, but there's more. It's all body language, and the performances the four performances Hodder gave as Jason were quite good. And he's probably one of the few actors to return to the role after one movie. Lexa Doig does a decent job. She's not terrible, but she's not amazing. She plays the part and collects a paycheck. Now, David Cronenberg's cameo in the beginning is at least fun to watch. The tone of the movie is very tongue-in-cheek, as I mentioned before. From scenes such as a frozen Jason falling and slicing off a character's arm. The scene I remember from every single trailer with one of the characters saying, wait, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. It's like, it was little things, really. Also, the changed setting of the future on a spaceship did make for some interesting kill scenes. God, the girl getting her face smashed, frozen and then smashed. That was, oof. Even though, well, she did insult Jason. I guess that counts as one of the good reasons to kill a character. Also, the best kills in the movie are the holographic campers, hands down. It is a nod back to as I recall, Friday Part 7, wherein Jason picks up a camper in a sleeping bag and just slams her against the tree. However, this time there are two, and one of them is used to beat the other to death, while the other one is slammed against it. While the one was used as a weapon is slammed against the tree. The whole modified Jason thing was actually. It made it made sense within the universe of the Friday the 13th movies. In that scenario, it makes sense. Also, the battle sequence between the fight scenes between the android and Jason, both before and after his upgrades, were fun to watch. I mean, in all honesty, it's a fun movie. It's not supposed to be taken even remotely seriously. Yeah, it's got jump scares, but that's, and even if you've seen it enough times, you pretty much know where those jump scares are, and they don't really hit you. And if anything, they become laughable. But if you enjoy, it's the kind of movie. If you enjoy slasher movies, yeah, more than likely, I would think you would like it. But hey, well, some people did. Either way, I think it's better than people give it credit for being. Now, moving on to another much maligned movie featuring Jason Voorhees, Freddy vs. Jason. That's right, the movie that we waited a good long while for, actually. First off, a definite pro on this one. The plot ties very nicely to the end scene of Jason Goes to Hell, which was the first New Line Friday the 13th movie, as well as the movie given the subtitle of The Final Friday. And again, the plot makes movie sense when you factor in Jason's death in Final Friday, as well as Freddy dying in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, which aside from which was the second most recent Nightmare movie at that point. And like I said, it also fits in nicely with the end scene from Jason Goes to Hell, wherein Freddy drags Jason's mask down to hell, presumably. There's some very well-placed nods to past Nightmare installments, mainly Weston Hill Psychiatric Hospital and the dream-suppressing drug Hypnosil. Now, there are downsides. The cast tends to be rather generic and ill-defined. Really, Lachlan Monroe's character was probably the only member of the supporting cast to be defined beyond a simple personality trait. But Kelly Rowland's character, really, okay, she's our main character's best friend. She is contemplating plastic surgery. That's it. That's the extent of her character, really. Also, she does not understand the concept of size compensation. Well, probably more of the writers didn't get the idea. Or maybe they were trying to prove a point. Either way. The joke that she, when she tries to insult Freddy, the size of Freddy's manhood, shall we say, by comparing it to the blades on his glove, and then comparing them to said blades to Jason's machete. That's not how the compensation gag works, but whatever. I groaned at that part. This is a small gripe, really, and really it's the kind of thing they had to do for the movie. Well, I guess for the plot to work the way they had written it. Springwood, the town that Freddy has been known to run rampant in, hence his pre-death name of the Springwood Slasher, is apparently now in New Jersey, as it's within driving distance of Crystal Lake. And originally, it was in Ohio. Again, it's a little thing. Or hell, we could even be presuming that Crystal Lake has been moved to Ohio. Either way, moving either location it doesn't entirely sit well with me. In all honesty, the scenes such as the dreamscape bits with Freddy torturing Jason because, well, Jason's been doing a little bit more killing than Freddy needed him to, and, well, Freddy needs to rein him back in. Yeah, there's some goofy moments, but all the Nightmare movies have goofy moments when during dreams. Yes, they lead to they usually lead to horrible moments, but I mean, come on. Freddy playing pinball with Jason as the ball, that's hilarious right there. Yes, I know it's supposed to be a horror movie. You're supposed to be scared by it, but ever since the third Nightmare on Elm Street movie, Freddy has been more comical than anything. Um, Also, there were some good kills throughout the movie. The first, well, the first actual kill in the movie, the the camper being, stabbed to a tree by Jason is more. It's more of a dreamscape thing for Jason, so that Freddy can have him encounter Freddy in a manner of speaking. I'm not really counting that as one of the actual kills. This would be the boyfriend of the female character Gib, who gets stabbed in bed and then has the bed folded up in half around him. That it made for it made for a good visual. But yeah, this is another movie that, like I said, is the whole point of this segment. It's not as bad as everyone likes to say it is. Yeah, it's not gonna be, Exorcist level of good. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street Friday the 13th movie. How good can that that's not exactly the kind of thing that inspires a great script. Now, the script's not mediocre, and to be perfectly honest, I would have absolutely loved to have seen seen Freddy versus Jason versus Ash on the big screen. Though the comic book tie-in was, the comic book version was definitely fulfilling. But it's and over the years, various rumors have popped up about proposed endings and proposed sequences. Some rumors including an appearance by Pinhead to somewhat appear as a referee of sorts during the fight. That's also one thing I kind of like is the fact that while yes, the movie Jason seems to be triumphant and be carrying Freddy's head. Freddy ain't dead. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not terrible. It's not great. This is not Oscar material by far, but it's amusing. And to me, it seemed as though at least Robert Englund and newcomer to the Jason role, Ken Kirzinger, had fun in their roles. So hey, Also, Ronnie, you did a great job directing it. I mean, again, good camera angles, so all that stuff. But anyway, that's really all I've got on these. I recommend, if you're someone who hasn't watched them recently, or at least who likes movies, Freddy and Jason movies, and has not watched these two, recently, just maybe watched them once when each one came out and kind of blew them off, I suggest giving them a second chance. But that's me, my opinion. Whatever. Anywho, that's all I got for today. We will be back next Wednesday with the weekly TV roundup. Also, we'll also be back next Saturday, either with a when good ideas gone bad, or something completely different, but still related to horror. Either way, we'll be back twice next week, just as we were this week. So, that being said, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links to both are below. And that's all I got for today. So, live long, rock hard.